In this episode, we are honored to feature Ashton Smith, who is committed to sharing her compelling story and shedding light on her experiences with the Special Olympics. Ashton has faced significant challenges and mistreatment within the organization and aims to reveal the behind-the-scenes realities of her journey. Her story is one of resilience and determination as she continues to strive for recognition and competitive opportunities in the fields where she truly belongs.
Today here on Off the Fields, I'm so honored to have Ashton Smith. Ashton, you are a four-time gold medalist. You competed in Dubai in the World Games, also in nationals in Seattle. You've played basketball, swimming, you've done powerlifting, you've done track and field, you've done bowling, and very interestingly, you've done bocce ball, which is like a sport that originated from Egypt. I'm looking forward to hearing about how you got involved in that sport. And then you've also been associated with the Dallas Wings, and you've been featured on ESPN, NBC5, and other magazines and notable networks. So it's really an honor to have you join me on Off the Fields. I can't wait to hear your story. I know it's very inspiring, and many people are wanting to know more about you because, you are really, you're setting the example for other Black women who, really just focus on one sport, but you focused on many sports, and you've done this all by yourself. You told me that your parents are deceased. I'm so sorry that, you don't have your parents with you anymore, but I know that they are looking down on you and just can always
and my
smiling.
grandmother was deceased too,
And your grandmother,
so,
we know that grandmothers are really instrumental in our development. I can't speak for other cultures really, but I know that in our culture, grandmothers play a significant role in our upbringing and everything. Our
they do.
morals are developed, everything. So it's really a pleasure to have you on the show. And so let's just get started. Yeah, of course. So I love your energy off the back. And then you are also an author. Tell me about your book here, Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. I love the title.
Yeah, this is the book. This is what the book looks like. That's the book.
Okay.
Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. I also sell shoes on a website called Alive Shoes. That brand is on there. You guys can look for my brand under Golden Ashton. That brand will come up and people can check those shoes out.
Right.
I'm really excited, man, because those are products that people can buy from me. My book, people can also buy what you saw here.
Yeah, the book,
really excited.
What inspired the book, and what's in the book? What are you really talking about?
In the book, what inspired the book was written during the pandemic.
Okay.
And, a guy gave me literally a gift, which I'm grateful for him doing that. And I'm grateful for what he did. So he knows who he is, and grateful for that. And I just wanted to tell my story, one, so that if someone of importance did want to look me up, they would always realize that I had a published book and they could go read my story themselves.
Right.
And not be told from a program or business about my life. Instead, my life is told in my own words.
Yes. So you wrote this book just during the pandemic. Obviously, we were all cooped up, needed something to do, and you were like, you know what? Let's write a book.
Yeah, and I did this because it will also allow me to ask for management companies, booking agents, PR firms to start helping me, speaker planners. Those are things that I need in my life right now. People who have those expertise that, one, work on commission. A lot of management companies have people pay, and that's not the way to go, because a lot of these places just take your money and then say, well, we couldn't find this for you. Well, they just made money off of you and you got no engagement.
But your book, right, really focuses on, is it just about your journey in swimming, or where does it start?
It's about my journey. It's about my journey, though, in swimming, and about my life and how difficult it was with the rules. There was a lot of rules in Special Olympics. So my book also talks about the rules and how you're not allowed to make money.
Oh.
And so, yeah, you're not allowed to make. Yeah, You're not allowed to make money. You don't get paid money per medal. You're just used to essentially, and that's what my story is about, generally, that my life was used so that all of these people can enrich themselves off of me and other people. So it's not just me. I'm just willing to speak out and write a book about it.
Right.
I'm willing to go to court about it type stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want the wheel to be able to tell my story without being told what I can say, how I can say it. This is America. This is not a foreign country where you can tell me what to say in a book. You can't do that, because everything I talk about in my book, I can back it up. The fact that I don't make money in that program, ding, I sent you receipts. The fact that the people want me to be quiet about it. The fact that I dealt with racial abuse in that program, Google Special Olympics Texas Confederate flag, they support the Sisters of the Confederacy in that organization.
You were telling me that, and that's just like mind blowing that we're in 2024 and they're receiving this support from such a group that,
and the federal government, they get government money. So there's 3 ways they make their money, and the third way will shock you. The first way is they're grandfathered in by the government, so they get government
funding.
Funding. The third way is from private or rich donors, private businesses, etc. Right? Churches, whatever you want to call it. So that'll be all in one pot. And then the third way is they make us do something called a fundraising kit. So we're forced to siphon money into their accounts. Ding, ding. We're not allowed to have our own GoFundMe. So it operates like a mob that you do the work. And see, most people with disabilities can't explain because they don't watch Mob Bosses and shows like I have. Special Olympics operates equivalently to a mob.
Wow.
When I spoke out, Special Olympics called the police on me on 3/3/2020. 3/3/2020. I was no longer in their organization.
And why? What sparked that?
Their organization's talking about they did a welfare check on me. No, because I specifically asked the police what they were here for.
Okay.
They said they were here on behalf of Special Olympics, and I said, then y'all have to go. They really didn't ask me much of anything because they knew that you can't come here on behalf of Special Olympics. I told them no. If Special Olympics was worried about me, they have no right to talk to me in 2020 when they handed me a suspension letter, which I will get to you, by the way. In 2019, September 18th, 2019, they told me I could never come back. One, because I went to the police department and I was not supposed to do that.
You went to the police department because something happened, right? You felt unsafe.
Yeah, I had an athlete threaten to take my life and kill me. And Special Olympics didn't care about it because she's white and I'm black. And she also told their program that I was also born a man, which I am not. She also told their program that I put my hands on her, that like I physically hit her. I also did not. There was no police report ever filed in the jurisdiction in Newark. Is, Newark, New Jersey is how they pronounce that, Newark.
Yeah.
I never put my hands on that lady.
You don't do that.
Never did.
You weren't raised that way, and you wouldn't do that in this sport that you're so passionate about and that you love. So, that was an example of white privilege, right? White privilege, yeah. She told, and then her parents got on my Facebook page and attacked me, and they're okay with that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna speak out, and y'all just can't, show up to my home and threaten to take my computer from me. Yeah, they told me to get off the internet and that they would take the internet from me. And I was like, and I just kind of, I have, text messages So they told me to get off the internet and stop saying what I was saying about their organization. I got phone calls and stuff, but when they sent me a text, that's when that got real. Like, you can't come to my home telling me you're going to take anything from me. This is an apartment complex. Right. I told my manager at the time about this. She said they come on this property, they're going to jail. So they never came here. One, this is gated too. And they not playing that here. So the biggest thing was for me to tell the truth and say, I'm not going to deal with that because I also know my rights. I'm in Texas. I can own a gun. So you can't just come here and think you're finna do anything to me, because now the tables have turned because I know the law. Right. They stopped messing with me because I'm in a gun carrying state. I can defend myself if you come here thinking you finna harm me or, And you can defend yourself with the gun. You can defend yourself intellectually. You know your stuff and you know your rights. No, I'm talking about physically because she was talking about her parents coming down here and harming me. Oh, physically, they threatened to harm you. Wow. And so you have
Yeah.
receipts, obviously, of all these things. And when you
Yeah, it
would,
went to an attorney. It's sent to an attorney. That's why it's in an attorney's hands. Yeah.
oh, wow. And so what is their response to you actually, fighting back?
Their response was to give me an indefinite suspension, which means they can tell me when they want me to come back. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't got time for that. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not going to be 60 years old, 70 years old whenever you want me to come back.
Right, right. Yeah.
So goodbye. I'm finna go play flag football or do something different with my life. But I'm always going to speak out against people who are sexually exploited. They exploit people sexually in that program. They abuse people.
And you've witnessed this with other athletes.
Yeah, I've seen athletes yelled at in that program by other teams, not on my teams personally, but other teams. Athletes are treated like crap, and then I was called the N-word at South Lake Carroll High School, a school that ended up on the national news. Like, I'm telling you stuff you can Google. And they're okay with racism at South Lake Carroll. They're okay with calling me a nigger and, under their breath in the stands because I beat their brakes off these people.
Because I won, they want to get upset and say that, say the N-word just because you won, And
I dealt with that. And look up South Lake Carroll High School in Texas. They ended up in the nightly news for racism.
Wow.
The national news. And Special Olympics was okay with that. They didn't care. They didn't care that my life didn't matter. They didn't care when Colin Kaepernick had that kneeling thing. They told me I couldn't do that at the time or else they would kick me out of the program.
But you wanted to.
But I wanted to, but I just followed their rules and whatever. You're not allowed to protest in their program. I'm not allowed to be a part of protest in that program, whether it's in writing or not. I was told that by staff in that program. And Tim Martin is the CEO of that program.
Okay.
Everett King and Dalton Hill, these are three men that showed up to my house.
They showed up to your house.
Yeah.
And these are the CEOs and the owners of the Special Olympics.
Yep. The CEO drove 100 miles from Austin to come bully me. They came down here with three dudes. I was the only female. That's how intimidated they were. They brought three men, no women. Three men.
Goodness.
To a restaurant that is now closed. It was called Fuzzy's. So they came all the way out here to kick me out of the program. Yeah. And told me I could never participate in it anymore. One, because I went to the police and I was supposed to keep it in-house. And that I wasn't supposed to tell nobody.
And you know what? That's one of the things that, you deal with some American sports, right? Well, at least
like
in
these
America.
pastors, it ain't just sports. You got pastors out here doing stuff in these prominent churches to little girls and little boys. And, don't tell nobody if I give you a severance or whatever.
Right. But in the sports world, it's a lot of, they want to control your everything, move, right?
I didn't sign an NDA or a conservatorship with these people. They don't own me.
Right.
I didn't sign paperwork with them.
Okay.
All I signed was a contract, which they would never give back to me. Why? Because they're trying to hide something.
Right. Or make alterations to it, alter it.
That would be illegal.
Yeah. Well, do you think that some of the things that they're doing are pretty much illegal?
I do, especially the way they get their funding and the way they use their money. I think it's illegal to tell people that you're helping the athletes. And I've never received a dime. I've never gotten financial help. I've been forced to pay for food, hotels, transportation out of my pocket. I don't get reimbursed nothing. And I was left $5,000 bankrupt because of their organization.
Wow. So people don't know that the Special Olympics is this brutal behind the scenes.
It's brutal. It's bad. It's real bad. And you dare speak out or call the police, they threaten you with expulsion. And they did that with me. It's not the first time they threatened me with expulsion.
Right.
So,
now, Ashton, for people who don't know, because what is your actual, your disability? I know you mentioned that you were blind to me, but
I'm visually impaired. But it doesn't mean I can't play sports or run or do things. But Special Olympics took advantage of that because I speak well. They had me on TV, NBC5. I even tried to reach out to Newey Scruggs. He stopped talking to me because they know all this stuff is fixing to be exposed, including them. I'm tired of being used to make money for a program and told to shut up by NBC5. Like
Right.
when the dude blocked me on the internet, that's your way of telling me to shut up
Mm-hmm.
about what's going on in the Special Olympics. Did he say that verbally? No. But
Mm-hmm.
he stopped talking to me because I told the dude, I'm black too, like you.
Right.
And the dude's a millionaire. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, dude, I sit here making nothing while y'all sit here making millions of dollars. And, does NBC5 get paid money? No.
Right.
I'm talking about the Special Olympics. When they get on TV, they get donations.
Right.
NBC5 doesn't get money from them. They get money from being on TV.
Right. And
That's
you've
what
also you felt the same way about ESPN. What happened with
Yep.
ESPN?
Never benefited from that either. Special Olympics got millions of views and millions of dollars, and I got nothing. Nothing. My story is just used to make other people rich that I don't benefit from. And people keep telling me to get over it. I said, no, this place ruined my life, ruined my credit. No, at the time, no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Wow.
And I have every right to be paid.
Right.
Nobody
Of
should have to
course.
look up what Chapter 7 bankruptcy is. No, you
Yeah.
filed bankruptcy because you're telling the government I'm not benefiting. So at Special Olympics, I told them sue me because I'm gonna expose y'all. And they
Right.
haven't sued me yet because I filed Chapter 7. You're gonna have to then answer to the government why you didn't reimburse me my $5,000, why you didn't pay me.
Right. Right. And so you were expecting payment for sure.
Yeah, I was expecting to be reimbursed by their program for the stuff that I had to pay for.
Okay. And those things included expenses like what?
Hotels, food, transportation. I've had to pay for my own swimsuits and things like that. Yeah, it's not fun.
Okay.
Racing suits are $500. But the biggest thing is that the Special Olympics, it's running a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
Everybody else on the bottom is volunteers while these staff members, these CEOs make six figures. They make in bank. The money goes to enrich them, not us.
Right. As the athletes, as the people actually putting in the work.
None of us get paid. A lot of my medals, I sold them. My mother died. I didn't care about medals. I sold them.
Right. And so these medals, I mean, what year did your mom die? I'm so sorry to, that you had to, I mean, that's difficult,
I think the year before last, something like that. Yeah, she's been gone for over a couple of years now, but it's tough and it's hard, and I miss her every day. And my grandmother gave Special Olympics cash because another thing is they would take the money and put it in a blue bag, right? So cash is not really traceable like that, and they knew that. But I was fortunate enough to grab that receipt that was on a table that I sent you a picture of, a team I was on, of what I was responsible for paying for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not stuff you make up. And I'm glad I grabbed that receipt because it fortifies everything I'm saying.
Right.
And I had to do that for 5 different sports: bocce, basketball, flag football, powerlifting, swimming. Those are all the sports I played for their program. And I don't benefit from that.
Wow.
And I'm working out sometimes 10 hours a day sometimes.
Wow. And at what age, like which sport did you started playing first, and at what age?
I did a field day when I was in school, elementary school, and then I just progressed up to there and just did various sports. I started swimming through the YMCA. It wasn't because of Special Olympics, let's be real. It was a YMCA out in Ellis County. But what I can say is God knows that I should benefit from everything that I've done.
Yes.
I've had organizations tell me, I had a lady tell me that she didn't want to work with me because I wasn't in the real Olympics. I had a management company, a man here recently, essentially tell me that I was not a good fit for him because I was not in the real Olympics. It's like, so my work doesn't matter and what I did don't matter. And it's heartbreaking.
It really is, because for me, the Olympics is a milestone in itself. Okay. Because not the average person can compete at a Olympic level. Okay. That's considered an elite level in any sport, whether it's the Special Olympics, the Paralympics, or the Olympics we just had, that's going on in Paris right now,
Yeah.
And so it's really unfortunate, and it's really sad to hear that
management companies don't see my potential, and that's what's sad is that I've reached out to so many companies to try to help me, and so many people on the internet, and all they do is lie and just try to take advantage of me and, oh, pay me $1,500 and I'll help you. No, everything, it's pretty much a scam. I'm done paying to speak on stages. I'm done paying to buy ads on the internet that reach no one that's going to help you. It's just a waste of time and money to sit on computers because it's just saturated. Everybody and their daddy's on the internet.
It's very oversaturated right now, even with any type of podcasting,
I stopped doing podcasting. I had one called Keep Swimming with Ashton. I had to stop doing it because of various reasons, and it's not lucrative. You can't just keep doing stuff that doesn't pay.
Right.
This wasn't a good time.
Now that everything has transpired, and I know that you're taking legal action, obviously, but as far as your sport, what sport are you wanting to really tap back into right now?
Swimming and track and field.
What events were you doing in track and field?
I did the 400. I did events nobody wanted to do.
Okay.
The 400, nobody wanted to run that, but I did. I did the 200. I did the 100. I competed against the men. I swam against the men. I ran against the men, and it just made me a better person. It just showed me how men, their chest bulges forward and doesn't drop when they run. So I took third place, but I noticed in a photo, men's chest is more forward. I was more back, but if I can lean more forward, I'll generate power like the men. So that's what a man was telling me. So
wow. And you really just love to challenge yourself. I mean, it's really amazing to hear that. Yeah, wow.
These are grown dudes out there. Them dudes were like 6. The one guy that beat me was like 6'6".
Oh wow. And you're how tall again? You're 6'3".
6'3". And the other guy was a high school runner. Like, I'm not even in high school. So can you imagine? I would have beat all them people out there.
Right.
Like, they would be looking crazy. But I'm in my 30s running with high school people.
Right. People fail to realize that. That's not easy, and not many people can even compete or even amount to that.
No, one photo. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, because I know flag football is tomorrow. I have a tournament coming up. I'm very, very excited about that. And
what position do you play in women's flag football?
They're gonna have tryouts tomorrow, so they're gonna try different positions. And for me, I was a center as well. I was good at snapping the ball.
Okay.
Because a lot of men they knew I could snap, and I also can deep snap a ball.
Right.
A lot of people cannot do that, but I can.
Yeah,
I'm good at a lot of things. I play defensive end in tackle football. Had good leverage. I can move side to side.
I love it.
Yeah, so
I'm here for it, sister. So
I'm excited.
I know you. I'm excited for you. Where is this team based out of, and what's the name of the team?
I can't pronounce the name. I think I sent you a logo of the team in a text. What I can say is, in my life, I'm just so excited, man. Like, God is good, because I never thought that I would be able to play. This is the logo of the team. I don't know if you probably can't even see that, because I can't even see it. My phone disappears.
Yeah, no, I can't. But let me see. You did send it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
And I think it's called Flag Football Ladies Only, and it's called 40 Sports Club in Dallas. Okay, so they're based out of Dallas.
Oh, yeah, they're out of Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, Dallas, right?
It's gonna be fun.
It is, but Dallas is like,
it's gonna be fun.
They've always been known. There's always a debate here in South Florida, right? Like who produces the best football players, okay? And it's always out of Florida, Texas, and Georgia.
And I just sent you the logo for I sent you the logo as well. It's nice. It's in gold. I just sent that to you in a text.
Wow.
Of the team. It's nice.
What state do you think produces the best football players?
IMG Academy out of California produces really good.
Yeah. Now there's an IMG down here too now, but Texas is known for football in general, right?
Exactly. I would say Texas, and then when it comes to the Olympics, Texas has great athletes. A lot of athletes come out of Texas that go to the Olympics, so they have really good training facilities here as well.
Yeah,
They have
Wow.
world-class facilities here. Like when I go and train at the YMCA, it's always clean down there. There's always somebody going around cleaning. It's very state of the art. It's very nice in the downtown YMCA because it's a business like YMCA.
Wow, metropolitan city. So, I mean,
Yeah.
also, it's mainly historically men's football. But I want to say, if I'm not right, men's high school football, boys high school football is
Man, it's a big deal out here.
it
Oh
is,
my
right?
gosh. Those college, it looks like a college, man. It's a big deal. But I will tell you, if my life was different and if I wasn't visually impaired, I probably wouldn't went into the armed forces because I know physically I have the body to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Especially when I was younger. Oh my God. So, uh, but I'm almost 40. Doesn't mean I can't run. So I hope, people understand.
Hey,
It doesn't mean I'm
age,
slow.
you don't, athletes have an advantage when they don't let their age actually, become a key factor.
I'm not trying to let my age become a factor. I sure wouldn't be outside playing in no heat. Let me tell you something. It's going to be 100
Right.
degrees tomorrow.
Right. We're under a heat advisory right now in certain parts of the country. But
That's us.
yeah.
That's us. That's Texas way. We roasting out here, but I'm okay with roasting. I mean, they got modern air conditioner. I'm in I'm saying? I'm in a building that was built in 2015, man. It ain't too old for an old building. I stayed in a building older than this one. A
Right.
building that's 102 years old. Do you hear me? This is like an upgrade over here.
Right.
In a 102-year-old building. Do you hear me?
Right.
Girl, ain't no
So,
way.
but let me ask you this: how with like the shift in women's sports viewership, right? How is it with women's football? How is that becoming, really the new wave down there? And
It's
how is it being received?
I mean, they got good numbers of players. There's the Dallas Elite. Arlington Impact had a team. I'm hoping they will start that back up, Arlington Impact. I played on that team, and it was people there with no disabilities, and I did very well. People thought, oh, you'll never play because,
Right.
want somebody else, not the team members, but other people outside. How are you going to play football? And you got this one, and how can you see? And I got out there and I could play. I wasn't,
Right.
what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I was now, you can do it, but there's not the same viewership like the WNBA has ballooned. They're getting TV deals and all that. Women.
Yeah.
Football, I think it's not new, but a lot of men still believe that football should be for men only. And I just don't think that. I mean, when I was in school, there's a picture of me in the yearbook in powerlifting. And that was ahead of the time because it's in 2004. And I was lifting with men, and I was the only female in a powerlifting room.
Right. Same thing. I think that's equivalent to like wrestling sometimes. You have girls in high schools who want to get involved in wrestling. I remember when at my high school in Fort Lauderdale High, we had our first female girl wrestler who made the team, and she was embraced tremendously, because it's like such a accomplishment to be able to hang with the guys. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, but when you get in there with these guys and you see how strong they are, it's a different kind of strength, and your shoulders need to be more rounder and, and try and create, you can't necessarily have that bulge like a man here, but you can create the bulge here in your shoulders. So your shoulders become whatever you're trying to hit instead of your chest. Sometimes men, their chest, they good, but a lot of times women, you got to lean down so you don't get hit in the chest. I don't know. I mean, I was great. I had a football coach that really taught me how to
really poured into you, huh?
Yeah, he taught me how to get up off blocks. He taught me how to get around people who are bigger than me, how to spin around people. Just so I learned a lot from him. I just couldn't do the cold. I'm sorry to
right.
I'll be real on her right now, Lord Jesus. I'm sorry to any team right now that I played on that I didn't show up because I was cold. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like the winter,
it hits you differently, right? It's different.
I was not doing good. It was like I was like it hurt to breathe. So this woman, I said, hey, we in the car, right? I go downstairs to get in the car. It is so cold. I ain't gonna lie to you. I told the cab driver, I said, bro, I'm so cold right now.
What did he say? What was his reaction?
Man, I just, oh my God. I went back upstairs and stood in the doorway with the heater on for a minute. And, and I'm just like, dang, man. And I ran down to the car, got in, I go to practice. I'm shivering cold in these damn football. Use my language with these football pants. I'm shivering over here. And it's just like, man, ain't no heaters out there.
Even with your gear on, your equipment, you were still freezing cold.
You're still cold because that equipment is plastic, right? There's no fur inside of it, right? Ain't no luxuries up in there, right? And so you cold. I just remember when I opened my mouth, it was like taking a gulp of a Slurpee, and it was like I got the brain freezes, and I'm sitting there running like this. Right. I couldn't do it, sister. I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing I will not do. I will not play sports in the cold. You cannot pay me to do sports in the cold.
For no amount of money. You can't
I'm never doing that. Your lungs hurt. Everything feels like you're breathing in crystals. I told the person, it's not worth me playing out here and it hurts to breathe. We ain't talking about tackling. We talking about breathing. Just standing there, it hurt. Ain't no way, man.
But you're a true Texas girl, shall I say, right?
I like the heat. It can be 100 degrees outside. I bet you I'm gonna drink some coffee. But the thing is,
coffee, Ashton.
But during training, no. But what I can say is, outside tomorrow, I haven't had coffee except for this morning because I'm actually hydrating my body for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's one of those things. If you get coffee, you can drink cold coffee or whatever.
Yeah, iced coffee. Yeah,
that works too as well. But I tell you, I mean, I think things will turn around in my life, and I think if it wasn't for my grandmother and people telling me that I can do anything, then that would be a whole different story.
Yeah.
But they did give me the okay to do the Special Olympics. But am I grateful for what I learned in it? Yes. Mm-hmm. But I'm never grateful for being exploited. Am I grateful for moving forward in my life and working with multiple people and things? I was just on another radio show the other day that played in a large market in New York, right? Mm-hmm. So you begin to know that your voice can be heard globally.
You have more power. You have more power with your voice. You know, as an athlete, athletes don't realize the power that they have with telling their story and speaking up and talking about their experiences to get to where they are.
Like
and yes, in your journey. Because many athletes.
You heard about me on what was it? I can't even think. Was it an app? I'm trying to think. Well, you were on an app, right?
So you told me that you came across me on Clubhouse, right? And you said that this was the app that was, really making waves during the pandemic. And
it was.
And was. So how often were you using it? And was it really helping you mentally?
Some of the stuff now has turned to rubbish. It really has. I mean, man, it has changed so much. Before it was different. It was like a lot of lawyers, doctors, just all kinds of people. Mm-hmm. Now it's just not all of it. I don't want to, bash all of it, but a lot of them rooms, people, talking about each other and all that. I'm like, I don't have that time for that kind of spirit. And I don't jump on there anymore in the mornings because I don't want that in my spirit.
You don't want that negative connotation and that negative energy to start your day.
I'm not waking up in the morning talking about somebody's dad and then find out they dad deceased in my back channel. Oh, what? I don't want that on my soul. Because somebody was talking about my mother. I said on there, no, my mom's deceased. And it got really quiet. Because I said it's not funny when you're the one being talked about in the butt of jokes. That's why I don't go in certain rooms on that app, because they make fun of me for being in the Special Olympics and call it the No Olympics and make jokes about me. But you continue to just push forward. And
it really bothers me, that people really say these types of things about the Special Olympics, and trying to discredit it as if it's not even.
As if we didn't put in the work. Yeah,
and it's crazy, but adversity can be our greatest motivator, right? And I think that's what it has done for you.
It's going to be my motivator, because I already got a friend saying, hang in there, I'm gonna try to find speaking engagements for you. He told me last night, hey, I'm gonna send this video off to so and so. So the wheels are turning. It just takes
takes a couple
one
people,
person.
sometimes one person, right? It does, to really understand what you've been going through, and they see the value and what you're bringing to the table. Okay, and so Ashton, I mean,
It's
if you,
exciting.
for other aspiring swimmers, right, or other athletes who do have disabilities and they want
Right.
to, make it to the Special Olympics, or they want to exceed and excel in the sports, what advice would you give them and how to get started, and just, how to stay headstrong in the game?
One, make sure you have somebody always looking out for your best interest. That's what I'm learning through this whole experience. Like, for real, you need to have somebody, whether it's signing up with an agent, your parents, somebody that can look out for your best interest.
Because
And
you had
legal,
an agent, right? And you said that she
you're
passed.
not allowed to have those in the Special Olympics. You're not allowed to use their logos to make money, their imagery of any kind, but they can use your face and your story to make millions. And that's why I'm suing, because you're not going to be using my story to make money.
For
And I
your
sit here
personal gain, or
for their personal gain. That's right. And I don't get nothing personally from it.
But your manager,
Um,
you had a manager or an agent?
I didn't have either. You're not allowed to have any of that in the
Oh, you
Special
never
Olympics.
had any? Okay.
Never, because you're not allowed to. And I'm looking for one. I want one now. I'm looking for one now. I want to be under contract with somebody. That's what I mean when I say looking for a booking agent, those kinds of things, management companies. And you want them to take a percentage. And so, yeah, I'm looking, and it doesn't have to be in Texas. Anybody that has the knowledge of a booking agent, management company, or speaker planner, somebody that can actually plan and get speaking engagements, they'll get a percentage of what I make.
Right. And you're okay with that. You obviously work out the
Yeah, I
percentage, but
I don't pay people to get me on stages. So please, the people who asking me to pay, do not ask me to pay to be booked on those stages, to go on those shows. I don't want to do that, because those are not real shows. Real shows are going to get their revenue from commercials, from other means, but they're not going to be having you pay $200 and $300 to go on their radio station.
yeah, that's true. That's very much true. And not a lot of athletes know that, right? They don't know the mechanics of the behind the scenes, and
Because
how.
that's not earned media. There's a term called earned media and paid media. Earned
Okay.
media is where you have the ability to go on and you're not paying for it. They put your story on without monetary offer. Now, if you're having to pay, that's not earned media. That means you just paid to be on a program.
Right. Right.
That's not real media.
Tell it, Ashton. I mean, girl, I'm telling you, this is
That's a fact.
It's a fact, but it's phenomenal, and it's so inspiring that you did all this on your own. I mean, of course you had your support system, but they're no longer here, and you just keep going and going. And
and if there are people out there that can help me, let me know. Folks that want to go to the Alive Shoes website to buy my shoes, they can. They're, $200 and I believe $61. It may be a little less, but yeah, they're $260. My book is $25, so people can do that. And I also have an ebook as well that people can go out and go buy. Folks can also Google me under Golden Ashton, and you'll find me on Instagram and those kinds of things. So you'll find that name, or just Google Ashton Smith Special Olympics, and you'll find articles and more about my story and who I am. Multiple radio stations and TV shows. I've been on 97.9 The Beat, ESPN, Swim Magazine, NBC5, and more. So I'm really grateful and thankful for people who have given me chances like NBC5 and others who have allowed me to tell my story and be in their magazines. I am grateful for that. And none of these stations have gotten paid from the Special Olympics. NBC5, they don't make money from that. So the Special Olympics is the only one that benefits out of all the stuff that was done. And that's not fair.
Yeah, it's not. And you think, if that were to change, obviously that would change a lot of how it would change your life, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you said that there are some days where you actually had to sell your medals.
I did during the pandemic. I did, because my mom's not here to take care of me. I don't have a dad that's going to give me money. It's like, you have to, and let's be real. When my TV went out, I had to replace it. I wanted the same size TV I had. And that's what I wanted. Is a 70-inch TV a need? No, but that's what I wanted. And so medals aren't a need.
Right.
Not a need. Right. They're just sitting in my house.
And then especially if the organization isn't, showing appreciation towards you, or
and no need of me keeping that stuff. The trophy that I have, it's a doorstop. These are the medals These are all the medals, if you can see them, that I won right here.
Oh my gosh. So
These are
many
these are the ones,
medals.
these are the ones in a bag. And if I
Okay.
got $30,000 per medal, I would be rich. Right? They
Right.
even give money during the national games. And look at that. These are all medals I won. This
Wow.
is just one bag. And I don't benefit from this stuff.
Do
These
you
are just
actually
all,
know the amount? Like, do you have an exact amount, like the count of how many medals you have?
man, I probably have well over 50 of these things. Well over
Wow.
50 of them. And none of this has benefited me. It's this bag right here is sitting by a door as a doorstop.
He said as a doorstop,
Yeah, a
right?
doorstop. Yeah, because
And that's how
I don't
you feel
display.
too, you
That's
know?
how I feel. My life has been a doormat, right? So why would I display something? The only thing I have displayed are my world and national games medals. All these other local games medals and pictures and all that. I took down all that stuff related to the Special Olympics in my living room. All that
Yeah.
stuff
Because it
is
was also a reminder, right?
exactly. And so I took all that stuff down and it's under a bed collecting dust. And a lot of that stuff is either, going to be sold because I don't need it.
How would you feel if the Special Olympics actually started paying their athletes and athletes like yourself, and they actually implemented a program where they focus on mental health and offering
Yeah, they don't
therapy?
want, they always say that that's not their responsibility. They don't offer mental health counseling. They told me to suck it up one time when I told them that I was dealing with depression. I'm
What?
told to suck up stuff. Yep, I'm an angry black woman to them. Yep.
Wow. Wow. And it's
Yeah,
so
they
sad
don't
because
care.
many sports organizations.
They didn't care if I took my own life. That's how bad it was. I had to receive counseling because I had an athlete to tell me to jump off a building and kill myself. And I told him, you wonder why people like me had suicidal thoughts back then. There was a time
Yeah.
that I thought about taking my life because I'm told I shouldn't be here.
Right. Or you don't belong here.
Yeah, or that it's my fault my parents died. I don't want to hear stuff like that.
Oh my
And no, it's not
goodness.
my family telling me that. It's people in the Special Olympics and stuff online. You get tired of hearing that
Yeah,
because
people
it's
in
not
these
my fault.
positions of like authority, right? People who, and it's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous.
Special Olympics didn't call me to tell me nothing. Oh, we're sorry, no, nothing. They didn't call me and tell me anything about we're sorry your mother died. They don't care. They
Hmm.
don't care if I died. They could care less. Like, and they've told me that. I had the athlete that had me kicked out tell me she didn't care if I died because I'm worth nothing. I was called 3/5 of a person in that program. I'm not
Oh,
even a person to them.
wow. But historically, that's what a lot of black athletes have gone through, right?
And
They've,
they said the only reason they wanted me was for my talents, not necessarily me. So
I mean, like what did you tell me the other day? You said that you feel like you're a modern day slave, right?
slave. I feel like I live in modern day slavery. I'm not allowed to speak out, not allowed to talk to law enforcement, attorneys, booking agents, anything dealing with the law. You're not allowed to talk to anybody.
Mm.
They
And you,
they they use the word in house a lot. They
mhm.
want everything to stay in house. And I noticed that on that letter at the bottom it said for me not to. Let me see if I can. Girl, I'm gonna send you this letter so you can. um,
I
I ain't
love
lying. 'Cause
Ashton. I really love how you have all your receipts
like this
because
letter, yeah, this is like so people don't have to lie and say, "Well, I didn't say that." No, this is the letter that y'all sent me when I got suspended out of their program. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
the
I'm
thing
gonna
is
send it to you
this.
now.
A
Yeah,
lot of athletes need to keep their own receipts, right?
it's what I did.
You did, and you really
Sure did.
are
Come on, Keith.
a prime example of how
There's
to
the letter right there.
overcome such brutal backlash and abuse and exploitation and
Yeah,
discrimination and
yeah.
racism in the sports world. Oh, I got it.
And that's the letter that I sent you where they in writing right there where they talk about suspending me, an indefinite suspension. So they can't say, well, we didn't send that to Ashton. We didn't tell her that. Yeah, you did. So now they're trying to act like they never talked to me. And when you Google me in the Google Dallas Observer, they actually slipped up and said, oh, well, we would like her back and da 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 da. No, which is it? You like me back or
Hmm.
they just didn't care? They told the Dallas Observer they wanted me back. So if you wanted me back, I'm not a bad person.
Right.
I just called the police and got in trouble for going to law enforcement.
And that's because you felt unsafe, though, and there should be nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
I felt unsafe, and they essentially told me that they would have kept me safe. No, you would not have. You would have not kept me safe at all. There's no, they wouldn't have. They had no desire to do that
Mm-hmm.
at all. And it's like, this girl has been picking on me since the camp and all of that stuff, and they did nothing about it. Nothing about it at
Right.
all.
That's
And I'm
crazy.
supposed to just sit here and shut up about it. And then they act like I never talked to them, but I have a recording of, yeah, I did talk to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Sure did.
You
And y'all
did.
did nothing about it.
So,
Nothing whatsoever. And all I want in my life is justice. And Lord Jesus is coming. And I just move forward in my life to say what I want now is to be on the stage as a paid public speaker and tell my story.
and to
And
help
just
other, this is for other athletes too, right?
and
Because you
other
want to be,
athletes as well, that so they don't ever have to go through what I went through. That's why I want to tell my story.
well, your story has definitely been heard today on
It
Off the
deserves to be
Fields.
told.
It
It
does.
deserves to be told
100%,
because
1,000%,
it
1,000%.
deserves to be told. And I'm forever grateful for that. Forever
Right.
grateful. And this is the shirt, right? This is the shirt when I competed in the Special Olympics Texas, right? I
Mm-hmm.
competed for this program. And this is for the games 2018 when we
Yeah.
went there. So I don't benefit from any of this stuff. You know, my life, these shirts and stuff like this, I'll be
Mm-hmm.
getting rid of. Some of them I keep for podcast purposes like this to
Right.
show I ain't going out buying these shirts. These were given to me. I ain't buying nothing from them.
Right.
I ain't buying anything
Ashton
from them.
said, I am through with y'all because y'all have continuously tried me to the
Yeah.
utmost. You know, it's so,
And it gets even worse. The bank, that Frost Bank, that bank kicked me out of their bank because I essentially found out that their program gave the Special Olympics money. And I told them, no, Special Olympics never reimbursed me for the loan that was from your bank that I was told to sign, right?
what?
Yeah, I was told to sign a loan by Special Olympics staff against my will that I never got paid for it. I told them, no, I got to take the paperwork to y'all's offices to show you that it's signed. No, that's not cool.
Right. Right.
I don't get paid for this stuff. I'm not supposed legally, let's be real. I'm not even supposed to be paying for food in hotels.
No, you're not.
I'm not. They get sponsorships and stuff. They're a non-for-profit. Why am I having to pay for anything? Because then they tell the athletes they don't have to pay. That's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm forced to pay stuff.
Right.
And yeah, Frost Bank, if I get stuff together, yeah, I'll take them to small claims court too. I just want somebody to
He
hear my
said,
story.
I'm not. I mean, Ashton, what you're doing is it
I'm
needs to be
uncovering
done.
stuff.
Yeah, and you know, unfortunately, these companies have to be exposed when they mistreat athletes who are so like
And Frost is one of
successful.
them. The Frost Bank is one of them that sits there and they just cover up for the Special Olympics. I'm like, no, guys, I didn't benefit from this. And they're
Mhm.
claiming that I did. I don't benefit from anything. And I told Frost Bank, what money, you got a proof of them cashing me a check? No, you don't. So you can't say that I'm sitting here benefiting from anything. Not
Right.
benefiting from nothing. I don't
Right.
benefit from running around the track all day.
Right. Right.
You know, I don't benefit when I end up in the hospital and have concussions in their program in 2014. Ended up in the emergency room. They didn't care if I lived or died. My mother drove me to the hospital because they didn't want that on their insurance on record.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. And these are things
My
that
mom,
people don't know.
my mom told me, my mom's not going to lie. My mom drove me to the hospital. Why would my mother lie about that? So these people are just, they just get over on people, but they're not going to get over on me because
That's right, Ashton.
they got the lawsuit sent. So I'm just really excited. I mean, everything's going to come together. God's going to push everything forward. And the companies that didn't want to manage me or work with me when I become super wealthy, don't come to me talking about, well, we should have, you shoulda, coulda, woulda. Next, and that's how I'm gonna do people. Real talk that come to me. I want to work
I
with you,
love
man.
it.
That's how
You
you
know,
do it.
you need to have your type of personality to really to be able to withstand these things, right? And you know, you're super blessed to have made it this far, and you beat the odds, you defeated the odds. And
Yeah, I
I'm
never
just
thought I would ever find an attorney, anybody to help me, because everybody in, every attorney I called here in my state, they all have contributed to the Special Olympics in some capacity, whether it was 20 years ago, they won't help you. So these are all things that I find that, and then I contacted the state controller, what do you call that? The charitable trust, the state charitable trust of Texas. They did nothing about what I said, right? Everybody in this state, it just seems like is in cahoots with the Special Olympics, at least agencies anyway, because they do nothing about it.
wow.
They support the racism too. When you do nothing about it, you support what goes on.
Right,
And the state
right,
of Texas did nothing to help me. They
right.
support what goes on too, because they do nothing about it.
Ideally, what would you like to be doing right now from this point forward?
Now, I would like to continue to do public speaking. Obviously paid. I'm not going to be doing it for free.
Right, so that's enough of
No,
that.
enough of that. Enough of that kind of stuff. And I want to be able to someday work with radio shows or have my own. Right, those are things that I won't continue to promote my book or write another one, promote my shoes and make another one. Those types of things. So
Hmm.
yeah, everything. You know what I mean? It's great. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I would like to have my own pair of cleats someday. Right? Would love to. But it's like, when you're in the Special Olympics, your work is not recognized by nobody. Nobody knows who you are when you come
right.
home. Nobody knows your name. You come back home to nothing. No parade.
But your book looks
No.
amazing, Ashton. I
Yeah,
must
doesn't that
say,
look great?
yeah, I really love it, and it really gives off the energy of like, perseverance, and the fact that,
Yeah, that's me kind of climbing out of the water right there. Yeah.
yeah, climbing out of all of the people who try to keep you down and keep you
Yeah,
stagnant,
exactly.
and
Exactly.
so,
And I didn't accept that. And I think that's the biggest thing. And I'm just really grateful to know that my story can be told on a show like this. And when you get all this pre-recorded or however this is,
mhm,
then let me know and I'll get this shared on all of my social media as well. And then
yeah,
I will tag your company in it as well. So drop whatever you would like for me to tag in the social media,
of
and I'll get it
course.
shared out.
Of course,
Sure will.
Ashton. Of
I'm
course.
excited.
Me too, and it's been a pleasure to have you on Off the Field because many athletes need to hear your story, and a lot of
Right.
athletes are going through very similar situations, and they just
College
don't.
students did. Remember when they didn't get paid, I'm in their seat now. So
Right.
I'm taking that same fight when the Supreme Court ruled that you can make money off your image. Why am I told by the Special Olympics? Because and they use the word disabled, but honestly, I say retarded because that they called me the N word in that program. And I say that word because they believe that people like that, we don't have the right to love, own real estate. We can't manage ourselves. We can't be a part of society. That's why they created something called a chaperone. They
Hmm.
follow you everywhere because they don't think you're capable of doing nothing.
Right. A
I'm
chaperone.
like,
And that's not
yeah,
true anymore. That's just not
no,
true.
no,
When you do, I know that when most athletes who are dealing with challenges or
right.
disabilities, they become stronger in other areas.
Yeah, you want to
And
be independent. I don't want somebody following me around everywhere I go. I found that to be dumb in the Special Olympics. I'm 40 years old, but I need somebody
so
that's in
that's
high
dumb.
school to follow me around. Get out of here with that.
Right.
So that is so dumb. So, but maybe that's in strict cases, people who need it. But I'm 40 years old. I went to New York by myself. I think I can make it across the street.
Right.
So I think that at the end of the day, you begin to drive forward. And I hope in my life that what I said here today drives the train forward to let people know that athletes of disabilities, we need to be paid as well. We don't need to be told that our lives are worth nothing, or we don't need to be here, or we're
Hmm.
a waste on the taxpayers, because nobody picks being disabled. I didn't wake up and pick having an eye condition.
Right. Right. Of course
To
not.
wear my glasses are $700. I didn't pick that. That's
Right.
called life, but I can see. Thank God for nice glasses, because without glasses, I wouldn't be able to, well, do anything. Well,
Right.
it would be difficult, but you still could, but it wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
I just know that in my life, God put me in a position to tell my story. God put me here to tell the truth. You know, though no man is perfect, but at least I try to tell the truth about the Special Olympics. Did I learn great things? Yes. Did I talk to good people? Yes. Is everybody bad in the organization? No. So I do say this disclaimer: the opinions that I have said here are only my opinions only, and not the station, its subsidiaries, or other people. All
Right.
I can tell you is what I have wrote down and said here today. That is my opinion. And what I have said here is from articles and things that I've either looked up on the internet, and you can Google those yourself. Those articles come from me and my opinion only. Those articles are not brought to you by a station or its people or subsidiaries or its partners. So these are disclaimers that I say for today. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, Ashton, you are phenomenal. You really are a phenomenal woman and athlete. And it's been an honor to have you on Off the Field and to share your story.
Thank
And
you.
I'm really looking forward to your upcoming season with women's flag football. And, you know, I
Me
think
too.
you're going to thrive on and off the field.